decimals and percents. So we've done a lot of fractions, we've done a lot of decimals. Now we're going to get into our percents. And one of the first things we're going to look at, this is a lot like the fraction case. Goodness, having a hard time centering. There we go. On your board, I'm going to show you we've got 10 by 10. How many squares in total? 10 by 10? 100. I would like you to write a fraction and a decimal of section A. A fraction and a decimal of section A. You need to show me. Fraction and a decimal. And we know there's 100 squares in there. We know there's 100 pieces to deal with. Excellent. I like what I'm seeing on your board. Hold on to that. Ah, very good, very good. Excellent. Can I hold up a couple of boards? Can I hold yours up? Perfect. Can I hold yours up? We've got a couple here. Here we go. Now you're writing a space. I'll work these out on the board. So I know I've got 100 pieces. So I'm going to start with an easy one. Something out of 100. How many squares are in the A section? 20. There's 20. So 20 squares out of 100 squares are orange in the A section. Does that make sense? Okay. Is there a number I can divide the top and the bottom even? Yeah. I can divide 10. I could. I think I might 20. Can I divide by 20? Can I divide 100 by 20? What do I get? I get 1/5. Sure. So could I say that one out of every 5 squares is orange? Would that be a true statement? Okay. And now we need a decimal. Let's go back. I heard someone say that I could divide this by 10, right? Let's try dividing it by 10. 5 by 10, 5 by 10. 2 over. Well, that works out. I like that. 2/10. Can I write 2/10 as a decimal? How many of you have written 2/10 as a decimal on your board? Show me. Okay. If you don't have it, I'd like you to show me that you can write 2/10. Can you write 2/10 as a decimal? I'll give you a hint. That's 1/10. Perfect. So if that's 1/10, boom, 2/10. There's my decimal. Could I write that? Twenty hundredths? Same thing, 20 hundredths, 20 hundredths. 2/10, 2/10. 1/5. Johnny goes like this. You see why Johnny wrote that? Yeah, that's not quite there, right? And then I pointed out to Johnny and I said, Johnny, is that the same as that? No, he says. There we go. That's 1/5. Do you see Johnny sitting there? Yeah. No. Can I do this?
Yeah.
Could I do this?
Yeah. Millions of zeros.
Yeah, I got millions of zeros after that because that's after the decimal, so it doesn't even really matter. No. Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's try another one. How about, I would like B. Give me a fraction and a decimal. Pardon my coughing, sorry. B, that's those dark blue ones. Dark blue ones. Yeah, I see someone has already started with 4. They know there's 4. 4 out of, yes. So it's 4 out of how many? 100. Out of 100, you got it. So 4 out of 100. Hey, I could divide both of those by 4, couldn't I? Let's do it. So can I say 1/25? Okay, Well, now I want you to do something else.
Percentage?
Yeah. 4 out of 100 of them. No, but I like what you wrote, and I'm going to show you why. Yes. All right. All right. I see some good answers. Now hold on. There's 2 answers happening out there. One answer is this. And one answer is this. Now, one of these is true. Let's look at this one first. 25%. That's like a quarter of it, right? Are a quarter of these dark blue? No. Are 4% maybe? Like a very small amount? Yeah. Cool, cool. So we want 4%. Why is it 4%? Percent is out of 100. We have 4 hundredths, or 4 hundredths right there. Why isn't it 25%? Is 1 25% of 25? Is that a quarter of 25? No. This means 1 out of every 25 squares. So that means 1 for every 25 other ones. Now, we do have French coming up right away, so I'm going to pause this lesson. I will record the rest of the video in your absence, and we'll go over it when you have math next. So enjoy your French day, and I hope to get some math questions from you. Okay, welcome back to the second half of the lesson here. So we had our intro, and we looked at A and B here and how we can relate them as fractions, decimals, and percents. So for example, we saw that we had B was 4 out of 100 squares, so 4 hundredths, or 1/25th we converted. So as a percent, that would equal 4%, as 4 of 100. So let's go on and we'll take a look at how we can use number lines and more to represent these. Take a look at these examples here in your textbook, and you will see how we can relate with 25%, or 25 out of 100, or 0.25, 25 hundredths. And so what we're showing you here in the textbook, 25% is like 25 out of 100, or you could write that as 25 hundredths as a decimal. But as a number line, we have 0, and we have 1. We have 50%, or 0.5, or 50 out of 100 here, and there is 25%. So we have 25%, that's 1/4 of it, or 25 out of 100ths, or 0.25. We have more examples here. As you see, it breaks it right down, and you can see they are equivalent. It also has 15%, or 15 hundredths, 15 out of 100, or 15%, right there showing that they are equivalent. We do it once again here, but here it shows a conversion of 1/2. And so if I said to you, please show me on a number line 1/2 and give me equivalents. Well, 1/2, if I want to get 2%, it's really convenient to get to hundredths, or out of 100. I just realized that you can't see some of these numbers there. There we go. So let's get this to 100. Well, if I've got 1/2 here, and I want to get to something over 100, I need to convert. How do I get a 2 to 100? Well, that would be times 50. So I'm going to do that top and bottom. 1/2 is equal to 50 over 100, or half is just like 50 over 100. And then you can see on the number lines here, that's what they've done. 50 over 100, or 1/2, equals decimal 5. This is like 50 hundredths, or 50%. If I got half right on my test, I got 50%. Now we're going to go through a couple of examples here. It says write each percent as a fraction and as a decimal. So first it has 75%. Well, the easiest way to get a fraction out of any percent is to think, well, that's out of 100. So if that's out of 100, 75 out of 100, or 75 hundredths, and that's as a decimal. Then we had 9%. That would be 9 out of 100, or 9 hundredths. So I have a 9 in the hundredths spot. And here it shows step by step how you can do that. 75, 75 over 100, 0.75 or 75 hundredths, 9%, 9 over 100, and 9 hundredths. Now here it shows you something a little different. It says 2 fifths. 2 fifths. So let's take a look at 2 fifths. Now remember, we want to get to something over 100. So we got to figure out what times 5 equals 100. Wow, that's times 20. Times 20. There we go. So it looks like if it's 2 out of every 5, then 40 out of every 100 would be equivalent, or 40 hundredths, or 40%. And you can see that broken down a little more here. So you can either re-watch that section of the video or take a look in the book for some verification. Now let's look at just some of the first couple in the assignment. This is the hundredths chart. Write a percent as a fraction and as a decimal. Let's just do 1A, 2A, and 3A for you. So 1A. You've already started your assignment. Write each percent as a fraction and a decimal. I see there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 are blue. If 15 are there, then that's 15 hundredths. So 1, 5, 15 ending in the hundredth section, or 15%. Let's go to 2A. 2A says write each percent as a fraction and a decimal. So I got 2%, I need a fraction. Well, we know percents are out of 100. So if it's 2%, percents are out of 100, that's 2 out of 100. Or I could write that as 1 over 50. But if it's 2 out of 100, that's 2 hundredths. 2 hundredths. 3A. 3A says write each fraction as a decimal and a percent. Well, let's see. 2 over 10. That'd be 2 tenths. That. Or I could change this to a fraction with hundreds again, make it easy. Let's see, that's times 10 times 10. Well, if that's 20 over 100, well, that's easy. There's 0.2 or 20%. All right, I hope this has helped. This is just a introductory lesson, but I do expect kids to come in for extra help, questions, or even if you want a message on it, I'd hear from you.